truth live from where they decree it. Sylvia speaks, no filter, no buffer. Courtroom drama couldn't get any tougher.
When the gavel's first bang, to the witness turns tears. Sylvia's lens captures all your hopes and fears. Uploading justice one trial at a time. Tune in every moment, edges sublime.
Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Faces turn stories, the courtroom can't hide. Sylvia's insights cut through the divide. From jury talks to the lawyer's secret. In Sylvia's world, you know you'll need it. Behind the scenes where whispers are loud, her lens reveals the truth in the crowd. Courtroom secrets laid bare to see. Stay curious with Sylvia Spree. Every objection, every sharp retort, Sylvia's there to give you the report. Exclusive footage no one else can snag. From catchy headlines straight to the tag. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show.
Faces turn.
Good morning, good people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You guys, you see, I've been like working out. Look, I got my workout clothes on. Look, been working out. Look, been working out, getting this body together. Getting this body together. So I've been working out. I'm down to 216 now. Woo woo. 216. Woo woo. I came from was it 263 or 265? Then it was 240 something. I'm 216 now. Wow. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. All right. Enough of that. But anyway, guys, we were covering a new case. Doug Weinstein is the attorney for this new case, y'all. Doug Weinstein is the attorney for this new case. So what I'm going to do is give you a background story of this particular case. I'm just learning about it. I don't know much, but what I did, I started getting different clips of people who have covered it, and we're going to go review some of the stuff that they have, okay? So here we go. We're going to start off with Doug being in court with this case. Hold on a second. We're going to do that. All right, hold on. Let's see. This is the pretrial right here. Okay, here we go. Can you see it? Let me put myself on the side. This is the pretrial. Good morning, everybody that's coming in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, here's Doug.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for the news at 6. I'm Dawn Baker.
And I'm Mike Sigma. Tonight, we are learning more about what evidence could be used in the trial of a man accused of killing and dismembering his wife in Liberty County. On Camden King, Greg Stanton, what the defense and prosecution are asking a judge to allow this case.
2 years have passed, and soon the murder and dismemberment of Mindy Mebe and Kassotis, Nicholas Kassotis' second wife, will be fleshed out in court.
Here go Doug.
But at a pretrial hearing Thursday, it was Kassotis' first wife that was a point of contention.
What I'm contesting is them going back 3 years before her death and bringing in incidents related to his ex-wife.
Kassotis ended his relationship with his first wife, owing her $1.5 million. While the defense says the 3-year gap from their last point of contact illustrates how these are separated issues, the state believes this debt was the beginning that led to him and his second wife going on the run together.
Its motive for him being on the run. It explains that the story started all because of this.
The judge said he is inclined to hear the first wife's testimony in trial. A big part of the trial yet to be fully uncovered is Jim McIntyre. During and after his time on the run, Kassotis claims McIntyre was controlling every aspect of his life. But the state believes that McIntyre isn't a real person, but rather that
He says all of this in an effort to explain why he and Mindy are on the run.
Jim McIntyre, whether clearly that wasn't his real name, absolutely exists. I mean, they were moving every few days, few weeks, few months at the control of this person that we'll just keep calling Jim McIntyre.
in a statement from defense attorney Doug Weinstein, quote, "This trial is a long time coming," end quote, and that, quote, "we're happy to finally try the case," end quote. Atlantic Judicial Circuit DA Billy Joe Nelson said in their statement, quote, "We hope we are moving closer to justice for the family of our victim, Mindy Mebane Kassotis," end quote. For full statements from both parties, check out the story posted on our website. The trial begins after jury selection on August 4th. Cam McCann, WTOC News.
All right, today is August 4th, and this is the day that they actually start jury selection. The trial will be televised. It will be on social media, and Court TV is the outlet that has the stuff for it. So, but I will be streaming from Court's TV's side. So I'll be in here giving you guys some commentary during that trial so we can have original content. But let me go ahead on and show you guys a little bit history so we get to know what happened, what is behind this case and things like that. So first one we're going to do is let's going to do this one here. Hold on. We're going to do this one here. The think tank. I think they did a story on them. Hold on a second. All right, let's go. Frankie Rose's think tank, okay?
I'm going to talk about someone we haven't discussed yet, and I haven't really seen a lot of content creators doing this yet. It's the arrest of Nicholas James Kassotis. He's the ex-naval officer from Georgia that was charged with his wife's unaliving and I don't know how do you put that, taking apart. Good God. Some of these you just like, what? How do you discuss this? Good Lord. So let's take a peek here.
She's one of the ones that started this.
What first?
This is like in the Savannah area of Georgia.
It's just a matter of what we want.
Liberty County.
So we'll take a look at this first. This is May 12th of this year, so 10 days ago. So it's saying, up-to-date original news release, identified woman's remains found in Riceboro. So this is May 12, 2023. Nicholas James Kassotis, a.k.a. Nicholas Killian James Stark. Always a concern when you've got those kind of things going on. Different names in a large way. So 40 years old. He was arrested on Friday, May 12th in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. What is it about these men from Pennsylvania? He was arrested in connection with the passing of his wife, Mindy Mebane Kassotis. So her remains were found at a hunting club that covered the areas of Liberty, McIntosh counties on December 2nd, 2022. She was 40 years old at the time she was found. They were living in Savannah at the time of Mindy's death. So GBI agents to this investigation sought the FBI's assistance with genealogy DNA. You know what? We're getting more and more of this, and I think it's wonderful.
Hey, Corbin.
I actually opened up my own today. I got back into my own ancestry so I can go over some of these cases and try and figure out where the hell some of these actions come from. So GBI agents assigned to the investigation sought the FBI. So the FBI used a lab specializing in advanced testing and receiving results that furthered the investigation. The GBI interviewed family members and obtained DNA swabs for comparison to the profile created through genealogy DNA. Mindy Kassotis was identified on May 11th, 2023. Now, the speed with this is amazing. It's a lot better than it was a few years ago. So Nicholas Kassotis is being charged with malice unaliving, felony unaliving, aggravated that, and tampering with evidence and removal of parts from the scene of a death or this, right? He's being held at the Lancaster County Prison, awaiting extradition to Georgia. The GBI would like to thank the FBI Atlanta and FBI Baltimore, both for their assistance in identifying the victim. The FBI Lancaster, PA, and the U.S. Marshals Service, East Pennsylvania Fugitive Task Force, Lancaster Office, Lancaster Police Department, Pennsylvania State Police, and the Liberty County Sheriff Office for their assistance in this arrest. Wow, they were after this guy. GBI forensic artist Kelly Lawson composed a sketch, and that is what I got on the introduction. So the focus of the investigative genetic genealogy is on the construction of family trees for the persons identified as possible family members to the victim or suspect by combing through profiles, public and government records. FBI personnel then compare the persons identified in the family trees to the location and timing of the crime itself to identify a likely suspect. Lastly, the FBI seeks a comparison between the victim's DNA and DNA from a parent of the victim to verify the identity. DNA has made a massive difference when it comes to crime. So this was the original from January 5th, 2023. The GBI and the Liberty County Sheriff's Office are continuing to seek the public's help in identifying a woman who was found, an updated forensic artist rendering of the woman is attached. And initially, partial remains of a white female were discovered off Jones Road in the woods of the Hunting Club in Riceboro. Liberty County GA, additional remains discovered within a 3-mile radius of the Hunting Club property in Liberty County. So this little asshole was just driving around chucking things out a window by the sounds of things. The remains of a white female with brown eyes, shoulder-length brown hair, approximately 5'9" to 5'10" in height, and approximately 185 to 200 pounds, with an age range between 20 and 50 years old. The body had no scars, marks, or tattoos. There is a single tooth implant on the upper right jaw. Clothing found. Here, what are you doing? What are you doing all over you? Let's see here. There is a single tooth implant in the upper right jaw, and clothing found near the remains is described as dark blue, long sleeve, marona brown shirt, size medium, white camisole top, size large, light gray boy shorts with white stripe down the sides, size large, and a white Amazon Essentials underwear, size large. So any information regarding a person matching this description is asked to contact the GBI. So that is the office in Statesboro, and we will just give it out. I mean, if there's anybody with any information at all, this would be the number to call. So 912-871-1121. And we will, let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. So ex-Navy officer charged with the death of wife who was found in Georgia woods. Nicholas James Kassotis was arrested Friday in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, a day after remains found in Georgia were identified as those of his wife, Mindy Mabane Kassotis. So a former naval officer, isn't that impressive? A former naval officer. Mind you, we had a big wig in the Canadian military flying like the Queen and what around, and we all know what he turned into. So a former naval officer has been arrested in Pennsylvania and charged with the grisly unaliving of his writer wife, whose remains were found scattered in the Georgia woods.
Wow.
Nicholas James Kassotis, 40, was arrested Friday on felony unaliving, assault, and other charges in the death of Mindy Kassotis. I've been looking for this paperwork, so it looks like it's out there somewhere. I just haven't found it. So, assault and other charges in the death, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation.
Okay, remember, y'all, she's doing this back in May of 2023. So I do have somebody who recently done some things on it, but we're just going to try to get some information on what happened, or what is alleged. Okay.
Investigations have said he was arrested one day after she was officially identified using DNA technology. Her remains were found in December throughout that 3-mile radius of a hunting club. Good God. And they are also saying that, of course, the GBI had help from the FBI, who did the genealogy testing. So he also, as we were seeing, goes by Nicholas Killian James Stark. So it might even be his legal name if that's what he was arrested in Lancaster with. So when this came out a few days ago. So he is probably in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, in Georgia, or on his way. So he's further charged with malice unaliving, tampering with evidence, removal of body parts from a scene, or death and this stuff. So GBI previously said testing determined that the remains were placed there or on or around November 27th. For months, Mindy Kassotis' identity was a mystery, and police released a composite sketch in hopes of identifying her, which took about 6 months. So this is it here. A woman found at a woman who was found that at a Liberty County hunting club has been identified. Her husband has been charged with her arrest and her unaliving. What do you think? Do you think they get pretty close with these, or do you think it's like a shot off? What do you think? So they have not disclosed a possible motive, and no documents have been filed yet. So that's probably the case. But I am going to look again. This was done a few days back. So it's saying that she was living in Savannah, 40 years old, and living with her husband. And it says, according to the couple's wedding announcement in the Keene Sentinel, They were married in Virginia. The wedding announcement described her as a writer and business owner, and him as a former judge advocate in the Navy. What the hell? Navy's Judge Advocate General Corps. So that sounds like he wasn't, that sounds like he might have had like a fairly good, would you call it a job? I don't know. It sounds like he has some ranking. So it says here that he is scheduled to appear in Lancaster County for court. Now let's see here. I'm not sure if that's already done yet. We'll have to take a peek. Okay, let's see here. So May 14th, and we're on the 22nd. There was not a whole lot for me to grab on this, sadly. It's not as well publicized as I think it should be. So it's talking about him being arrested and finding her. I have not figured out what the heck this is, so I'm just going to play it and see if we actually get. Let's see here.
She's doing some deep dive, isn't she?
And is now been charged with her husband's murder after writing a children's book on grief. Joining us now is
Okay, I'll just take that out because that's actually a totally different case that is equally as messed up. So we'll just leave.
Shout out to Frankie Rose for doing a deep dive. You guys, you can always check her channel out. Frankie Rose Think Tank.
God, she's cookie crazy. So I'll take another look here. Let's look at this one. Yeah, I was looking at that case there a little earlier, and I thought, oh, we'll do this one first, and maybe I'll touch on the other one later. Lots of people are actually talking about it, so I wanted to work on Mindy's case. So a former Navy officer has been accused of unaliving his wife 5 months after doing that to her body and found near a hunting lodge in Georgia. So she'd been gone for 5 months. The remains of 40-year-old writer Mindy Mabane Kassotis, I think, were discovered by hunters at the Portal Hunting Club in Riceboro this past December. Believed to have been placed at the scene a month or so before the discovery. Okay, so I have to find out here how long she's been missing, because like, what the hell, did he keep her around? Let me know what you guys think. I might be a little confused here. Kassotis' husband, Nicholas, 40, was arrested May 12th. Okay, in connection with her unaliving in Pennsylvania, the GBI said in a statement, he remains in custody in the Lancaster County Prison awaiting extradition to Georgia. Mr. Kassotis, an ex-Navy judge advocate, what the living hell, General's Court, or he's a JAG officer, faces charges of, as we know, the unaliving, aggravated that, tampering with evidence, removal of parts from a scene. They were married for 6 years. So it says that her body was found on December 2nd in a wooded area off Jones Road. More parts were discovered within that 3-mile radius. Her remains were identified on Thursday after her family provided samples that were sent to the FBI lab. According to their 2016 wedding announcement, Kassotis was a Virginia Tech graduate, while her husband had pursued law at Northeastern University and Georgetown University. They told People. Authorities have yet to establish a motive. saying that she was a writer and business owner and who is fondly remembered. She touched so many lives, a former classmate of Kassotis wrote on Facebook. I hope she knew how many loved her and how many have missed her for so long. I also pray she didn't suffer. She was such a special person and true friend. So again, GBI office in Statesboro, if you know anything at all, 912-871-1121, and that is for the GBI, and the Liberty County Sheriff's Office is at 912-876-4555, and anonymous tips can be left there. Oh my word. Okay. Let's take a peek over here. Beautiful evening. It's plus 14 Celsius. I'm liking it. So let's take a peek here. It's again talking about him being charged. Sit down. Sit down. Good girls. With the unaliving. Okay, let's see what's going on here. I don't know if this is something I'm not having the best luck, have I? No. I don't want no part of it. Okay. I just want to see if there is anything else on here that we have not seen. I think, okay, this is him. I'll knock that down a little bit, the sizing, so we can check him out. Creepy looking shit, isn't he? The couple were married at Morven Park, Virginia in October of 2016.
Am I following Rule 22 for this trial? No, I'm not. I'm not going down
They're
there.
still talking about investigating.
I'm not going down there. I'm just going to be tapping into the what's the name.
So I imagine that's why
I'm going to do like
some of
everybody
this
else do,
paperwork
JT.
has not been out there. That's why we're not.
I'm not going down there. Only time I do a Rule 22 is when I'm going to the court itself. So I can attach my equipment to their thing.
Let's see here. He served as judge advocate. That's just a big freaking title in my mind. I could be wrong, but that sounds like a big title. His most recent assignment was in the Navy Reserve at a regional legal service office in the Naval District in Washington, D.C. Well, won't you look at that? At the separation date with the Navy, he reportedly attained the rank of lieutenant commander. Wow. I don't know. She's giving me crap again here. So we'll take a look over here for a second. And this is GBI. So this is on Twitter. And it's again saying that a man has been arrested and charged with the malice unaliving, tampering with evidence, and removal of parts. And his wife's remains were found on Liberty County back in December with FBI's assistant genealogy DNA to identify. So they're just basically going over some stuff that we do know. That is amazing. Tim Burke, FBI Atlanta, helped me at Monroe County. So to solve 34. Oh, wow. What do we got going here? Okay, we're good. We've gone through all of that together.
Yeah, you see the deep dive she do? That's the kind of stuff I do.
So, friends, I do believe this is what I have for now. If you do have any information about Mindy, please call those numbers. If you know anything about her husband that you think needs to get out there, let's do that. And yeah, thanks for coming and clicking on me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Thank you. That was from Rosie, from Frankie Rose Think Tank. Shout out to Frankie Rose. And now our final one is another person that did a deep dive on this case. And we're going to go ahead and see what he said about this case. Hold on a second. 1 second. Let's go ahead and pull him up so we can go ahead and see his deep dive. He did it really deep. All right, let's go ahead on. Fair use disclaimer, y'all. Uh-oh. What happened to the volume, y'all? Where's my volume? Did my volume not come through? Uh-oh, wait, hold up, y'all. No volume. I recorded and it didn't have any volume. Oh, my God. It didn't have any volume? Oh, no. What happened to the volume? Oh, we got to go back, y'all. Oh, no volume. Oh, we got to go back. I got to record it again. Hold on a second, y'all. I got to stop it and do it again. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all, I recorded it without any volume. Oh my goodness. I gotta redo it again. I gotta redo it again, y'all. Without volume. I recorded it without any volume. I was trying to not play the music part, and I recorded it with no volume. Let's redo this again. Let's re-record it again. Let's re-record it again. I just messed it up. Let's see what happens. I'm downloading it again. Let's see what happens. My bad, y'all. My bad. I'm re-recording it again. So in the meantime, y'all, you guys heard this guy. I see why he's able to pay big attorney fees, because he was a writer. He had background in the military. He had funding from a lot of things that he was doing. That's why the guy had that $1 million. His ex-wife, he owed his ex-wife $1 million or something like that. Y'all remember? 1 point something million dollars. So let's see. We're just trying to get this other one recorded, see if it recorded. Yeah, I downloaded it. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this one's better than the last one. Okay, I got it now. Okay, we got it. Hold on. Okay.
Hey, it's your best friend Kenny here, and today we have another spooky, disturbing story.
All right, here we go. he is doing.
I want you to ask yourself, how well do you know the people you interact with every day on social media?
You don't know him at all.
How would you feel if that person whose posts you like every day was accused of one of the most heinous crimes imaginable? Before I start this video, I'd like to first state that my heart goes out to the victims and their families of this case. This case involves real people, and due to the events of this case, many people have had their lives forever altered.
Do you have an echo?
My intention is to be as respectful as possible to the victims and their families. Do not harass or bother anyone related to this case or anyone mentioned here. These circumstances are difficult enough without having strange internet people making things worse. Finally, we live in the United States, and as you know, we're all presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. On December 2nd, 2022, a few hunters were enjoying a late season hunting trip in the woods of the Portal Hunting Club near Riceboro, Georgia, when they stumbled upon something that they did not expect: the dismembered remains of a person. The remains were of a white woman who was an apparent victim of a homicide, approximately 5'10", 190 pounds, with brown hair, brown eyes, and no apparent scars or tattoos. They would find the dismembered remains of this woman scattered across a 3-mile radius on the hunting club property in Liberty, as well as McIntosh County in Georgia. Authorities were able to determine that the remains were placed in the area around November 27th, 2022, and the individual likely had been murdered in the week prior. It would take 6 months before DNA tests were able to determine the identity of the victim. On May 11th, 2023, the Georgia Board of Investigation and the FBI were able to identify the victim as Mindy Mebane Kassotis, a writer who lived in Savannah, Georgia, with her husband, Nicholas James Kassotis, also known as Nicholas Killian James Stark. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's up with the AKA? Good question. Well, he was a writer and appears to have utilized several pen names. However, he appears to have gone by Nicholas Kassotis and Nicholas Killian James Stark outside of his writing life as well. We'll get into this in a minute. Upon identifying Mindy, Nick Kassotis was arrested in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and charged with malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault, tampering with evidence, dismemberment, as well as a few other charges. Nick Kassotis is a former Army JAG and attorney. He maintained a large presence on social media, including X/Twitter and Reddit. In fact, Nick had recently learned that a story he had written called "I Think My Mother-in-Law Is Trying to Kill Me" had just been optioned for a film after it had gone viral online. Nick cultivated a decent-sized following on social media, and he was heavily involved in the subreddit r/nosleep, which is a subreddit for posting horror-related fiction. Up until his May 2023 arrest, he regularly posted on Reddit and his blog and interacted with people through Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, and other social media outlets. 2 weeks before his arrest, Nick had been remarried, although he had never gotten divorced from Mindy. Instead, Nick reportedly told people, including his new wife, that Mindy had died from COVID. Imagine Nick's wife's new surprise when her husband was arrested for the murder and dismemberment of Mindy. The specific details of the crime aren't available to the public yet. However, Nick's 12-count indictment indicates he used an insulation knife and a deer processing kit, as well as rubberized tubs that were used to move the body parts from the scene of the crime. Most disturbing part about this case, however, is Nick's writing during the period after Mindy's death, prior to being arrested. Nick had a presence online, as most people do nowadays. Nick had his own subreddit, NM Rights, and Nick had a large enough of a following to where he had a sticky post at the top of his subreddit with the information to find things about his writing. He posted a link to his website. He had links to his stories, links to his social media, to his Twitter, his Instagram, his Facebook, his Goodreads. His website, www.nickmorefox.com, no longer works. I would imagine he no longer paid the domain fees. Nick had exciting news to share that his story, "I Think My Mother-in-Law Is Trying to Kill Me," had been acquired, the rights to which had been acquired by Sony. And as you can see, he had a significant amount of people who were happy for him, that knew him or thought they knew him and was aware of his work. Nick had a website, also known as kjstark.com. It was a Substack. This particular article by Nick is pretty interesting. On beginnings, sometimes figuring out the beginning is hard. To begin, hi, it has been a while. One of my goals in the new year was to edge away from my pseudonym, Nick Morefox, and begin writing under something closer to my real name, which is indeed Nick, but Morefox was a combination of two names close to me. I haven't written one of these since, but I'm mostly writing as KJ Stark, my actual last name, along with my middle initials. It's a personal decision, and possibly a dumb one, but here we are. Now, I told you we'd get back to this issue with him having multiple names. He claims in his own words that his last name is Stark. According to the jail records, his last name is Kassotis. According to his wedding license, his last name was Stark. During a hearing where Nick's bond was set, the judge set his bond at a high amount due to the fact that he owned multiple driver's licenses with different last names. On April 4th, 2023, he would write, "I've been thinking about beginnings a lot lately." Keep in mind, this is about 6 months after the death of Mindy. Later, he would write, chillingly, "I'm beginning some new things too. Life doesn't look like it looked 5 years ago, or 2 years ago, or 6 months ago. I had a lot of endings. Brutal, painful things that dropped out of the sky and scattered my personal storylines. Now I'm figuring out how things look anew. I'm pitching ideas to people I admire. Writers I admire treat me like I belong at their table. I spend all my non-work time surrounded by happiness. My life is promising and beautiful in ways I couldn't have imagined." That's hard too. I think about things too much, assume bad things will ruin it. I wonder if I'm cursed. When bad things, even serious, scary bad things occur, as happened to me recently, and it causes a few probably foreseeable effects, I assume those effects will continue forever. A secret pessimism still lurks around the edges of my plans, whispering that destruction and woe are near. On April 25th, 2023, just weeks before his arrest, he'd write, "This isn't a story I'm ready to tell. The things I don't talk about." Note, in editing this, it occurs to me that some people might have guesses as to what this is about. I can assure you that you don't. The story behind it is bizarre enough that it does not lend itself even to more robust speculation. That I'm not talking about is the entire point of this post. But I do want to ensure I'm not, even by omission, placing myself in a particular group to which I do not belong. I don't talk about my past a lot. It's amazing how much people think they know about you if they get a little info about the beginning and a little recent info and some high professional points in the middle. Where I went to school and the places I worked form the illusion of
Okay, guys, it's time for us to go. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Thank you for watching the infamous Sylvia channel, where laughter and fun make up our panel. Together we build this digital spree. We appreciate you and our growing family. With mods by our side and chat flowing free in this online space. It's just you and me, we laugh until tears roll down like the rain. In this virtual world, you ease all my pains. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We cherish the moments, the highs and lows, from the latest gossip to stories untold. You're more than a viewer, you're part of the crew in this space of ours. It's all because of you. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign and joys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign and joy is what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night.